Shalom Chaverim. My name is Rabbi Itzhak Shapira and I'm the founder of Ahavat Amin Ministries and Yeshivat Tshuva. It is my joy week after week to study with you just for a few moments, a moment in Hebrew. Rega be'ivrit. Hebrew is a beautiful language, and more than its beauty, it's revealed God's purpose, God's intention, and God's blueprint for the redemption, or as we call it in Hebrew, the Geulah. If you look from the beginning of chapter 25, Parashat Truma, continuing this week to Tetzavé, which would lead us to the very end of the book of Exodus, we are seeing God's complete plan. Step number 1, God says, build me a house that I will be able to dwell inside of you. The building of the Mishkan, or the tabernacle, was for the benefit of the people rather than to the benefit of God, to prepare the people to receive God. But even as the process of building takes place, you might ask yourself the question, how did the project get completed? How did Geulah come to the children of Israel? Well, in order to have a Geulah, you have to have a Goel. A Goel in Hebrew means a redeemer. Geulah means redemption. Who is the Goel here? In our story, the Goel is none other than Aaron, the high priest. But remember, he was not the high priest quite yet. And that's why Parashat Tetzavé is so critical. In this week portion, we read on the preparation of Aaron to be the high priest over Israel. Before explaining it from the text, I remember a funny story that I would like to share with you. I recall one year being in one of the most Jewish areas in the United States, where I was looking for a falafel stand. Right next to the falafel stand, I took the wrong turn and I ended up in a Chabad synagogue. As I walked in, of course, I saw the yarmulke, or in Hebrew, kippah, saying, "Long live King Messiah." We started to have a lovely and lively dialogue about the Messiah. Finally, the rabbi turned to me and he said, when the Messiah comes, before he rule as Messiah, he's going to have to stop here in our synagogue, right next to the falafel stand, so that we will tell him, okay, we recognize you as the Messiah. Don't worry, he said, we will agree, he is the Messiah. But only then he can be the Messiah. I thought about this for a long time. What an odd thing to say. What did he mean by this strange story? The answer is found in this Torah portion. When we're talking about serving a heavenly capacity, those heavenly capacities has to be not just ordained from God, but accepted, recognized by the people. Think about this for a minute. Yeshua says, you will not see me until you say, Baruch haba b'shem Adonai. The people have to recognize him. In the case of Moses, it said that the people believed in God and believed in Moses. In essence, they had to recognize Moses. They had to dress him as the future Redeemer of Israel. The same is true in this portion today. If Israel going to need to serve the Day of Atonement, they're going to need a high priest. Well, what is the process of having a high priest? Is it enough to build a house? The answer is, of course not. You need to have a Redeemer. And this Redeemer had to be dressed in his proper clothing. This is the scene of the last 2,000 years, as we dressed the Messiah of Israel in the clothing of an Egyptian king. Even in this Torah portion, we see that Aaron wears a kutonet. What is the meaning of the word kutonet? The word kutonet refers to the garment that Joseph has worn, called in Hebrew kutonet pasim. The same is true of the future high priest of Israel. He had to dress as Joseph. Listen to the dressing act that Aaron had to go through before he became the future redeemer of the house of Israel. It says in Exodus 28, verse 2, ועשית בגדי קודש לאהרון אחיך לכבוד ולתפארת. And you are to make clothes for Aaron your brother, for his kavod or glory, and for his beauty, so that he will be beautified. Who is the man who inaugurated Aaron as the high priest of Israel? Is it God? The answer is not. It is the people. Ve'asita is singular. It doesn't say ve'asitem, but rather ve'asita, because each and every one of us truly have an article of clothing that belong to the Messiah that we must put back on him. This is our task and this is our commission, in order for him to be able, as the Torah says, to carry the children of Israel upon his heart. So there is a reciprocal relationship. It is the people who are dressing the Messiah, while he in return covering the people. Messiah need each and every one of you as much as you need him. Notice two things. Number one, the word asita, to do. It's not to think, but rather to do. We have to dress him. Number two, the word big day kodesh. The word is kodesh, derived from the word kadosh. Who is the one who sanctified him as Kohen, anointed Kohen Mashiach? It is us who sanctify him. Lekavod, to glory and beautification. He received the kavod when we dress him. Our job today is to take people up outside of him his wrong clothing and fit upon him the clothes of the high priest of Israel. And we can do it only through the Torah and through, as we read in this portion, Ruach Chochmah, through the Spirit of God. The Spirit and the Torah will allow us to dress him again as the King of Israel. Wishing you all Shabbat Shalom. This is this week. הרגע בעברית, פרשת תצווה. להתראות.